The times are changing from seasons to homesteading to the crazy upcoming election. What do I mean by this? Let me explain. On our farm, we are beginning to drift into cooler nights at the end of August. We are beginning to emerge into fall, and I must admit I do dread it. I absolutely love summer, and I wish I could have summer year-round. However, seasons happen for a reason, and I must put my big girl panties on and face what winter will bring in just a few short months. Right now, the herb and vegetable gardens are in full swing. I am drying herbs right and left and trying to come up with different ways to incorporate squash with all the abundance we have had. I am feverishly making pasta sauce with all the tomatoes, onions, and garlic the earth has given us, and making medicinal tinctures and salves to have on hand when needed. Although we as humans face different temperate seasons, we also face different homestead seasons. With summer comes winter. With seasonal fresh food comes preserved foods. With lush green pastures comes white snowy mountains. With sadness comes happiness. With disappointments comes adventure. With life comes death. Everything and everyone, even homesteaders, live in seasons. We as homesteaders are resilient. We know bad things will happen, but we also know there is always light at the end of the tunnel. We take it as it comes and go with the flow. Homesteading tends to make people isolated, being away from friends, social gatherings, family, etc. But that isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes homesteaders get as far away from the corrupt systems as possible in search of something different or self-sustainable. With the way the world is now, you want to be able to live off of your land and animals and not rely on the water companies, electric companies, grocery stores, etc. Struggle, hard work, and ingenuity leads to freedom and independence, which is something our country is currently lacking in and is being further threatened by with the upcoming election. Not only do many people feel the electrical grid will not be sustainable much longer and want to get away from it and back to their roots, many people are now striving to move away from the current unhealthy food, water, and medical systems. Even the educational system is something many do not want to be a part of any longer because of its corruption. As for the unhealthy food systems, grocery stores have become the norm for people to obtain food. Growing food has become something of the past. But what you purchase at the grocery store is only the foods that they make available to you. The stores are full of processed, sugar-filled, chemical-laden foods, along with produce that has zero nutrients, which our bodies desperately needs. When you grow or raise your own food, you know what that animal has eaten and or the soil health in which you have harvested your vegetables and fruits. There is so much value in knowing the earth is putting natural vitamins and minerals into what you are eating. Even the water system is being threatened. Have you ever distilled water and saw all the chemicals left in the pot that are put into the tap water? It really is disgusting. The nutrients found in water is completely diminished when drinking from the tap. I realize chlorine can evaporate in water that's left to sit overnight, but chlorine is only one of many chemicals that are found in tap water. Being able to collect fresh rainwater, pump water from a well, or capture water from a spring is much better for you health-wise. This is what our ancestors did. We really need to learn the ways of our ancestors in order to have a sustainable future. The health system is yet another system that is untrustworthy. Medical doctors are not being taught how to treat a patient. they're being taught how to push pharmaceutical medications for symptoms. Think about it. Who pays the medical doctors? The insurance companies do. There are many instances where a medical doctor could save a person's life, but if the insurance companies won't pay for the procedure, sometimes the medical doctors aren't even allowed to tell the patient there is an alternative. It is all in what the insurance companies want us to know and how they want to proceed. Speaking of this along the lines of what happened in 2020, certain things were being pushed and the agendas were being laid out for people to follow. These agendas were not what was best for the patients. It was what could make the big companies the most money. This is a hot topic for me, so I better rein it back in before I go on my soapbox. The education system is another system that has been altered in the last few years. Those agendas that I mentioned in the medical system are bleeding over into the educational system, and it is not right in my opinion. Certain medical procedures are being given without the parent's permission. How is this right? Besides this, the actual education is subpar. There are students graduating high school who doesn't know how to write a complete sentence or even spell a simple word like strawberry. What is this world coming to? These are some of the reasons why many people want to go back to their roots and homestead. They want to get away from the industrial world and live a life of simplicity and freedom. Living this type of life is not easy physically, but overall, it is very worthwhile. It is getting back to the simple seasons of life in which many in the busy, chaotic industrial world tend to overlook. The seasons of life are important, and who we have leading our country is important also. Our freedom and our right to live the life that we choose is being threatened. If cheating and corruption happens again in this election, I fear we will face one of the worst seasons of our lives. All the more reason to get back to your roots now and start living the simpler and self-sustainable way of life so you will know what to do and how to do it when that time comes. You need to pay off debt now. You need to stock food now. You need to learn how to keep your home warm in the winter. You need to know how to start a fire to cook food. You need to know how to harvest animals. You need to know how to grow food. You need to know how to get lots of water for drinking, cooking, cleaning, etc. without turning on the tap. All of these things are only the basics and something you need to plan for, at least for the next 30 to 40 years. Being prepared for longer than the negativity may last only means you will survive this season of life. And the hard work you put in will help you understand the ways of your ancestors and the seasons that they had to endure. What preparations have you made? What systems do you feel you need to get away from? What season of homesteading are you in? Let me know in the comments below. SHTF Survival Homestead Teaching Farm thanks you for watching this video. Please continue to help us help you by liking, sharing, and subscribing.